Do you ever just sit there staring at a blank page, a pristine canvas, or even just a daunting task list, feeling like your brain's got a giant error 404, creativity not found sign flashing? Like your amazing ideas just packed their bags and left town, leaving you with nothing but a frustrating empty space. If you've ever felt that soul-crushing grip of creative block, trust me, you are not alone. It's a frustrating monster that plagues writers, artists, musicians, students cramming for essays, even professionals trying to brainstorm new solutions at work. But what if I told you there's a ridiculously simple, almost counterintuitive method that can not only banish that creative block, but actually kickstart your productivity and unleash a flood of ideas you didn't even know you had? In this video, we're diving deep into the ugly first draft method. We'll explore exactly what it is, why it's a secret weapon for creatives everywhere, how you can use it in your own life, and share some real-world examples that'll make you say, why didn't I think of that? Get ready to unlock your creative potential and make that brain force field disappear for good. So what exactly is this ugly first draft I keep talking about? Well, imagine it like this. It's your very first attempt at something creative, and the key word here is ugly. We're talking about a draft where perfection is not just optional, it's actively discouraged. The main goal here isn't to create a masterpiece, it's to create anything. It's about getting all those messy, half-formed, unpolished ideas, thoughts and concepts out of your head and onto something tangible, whether that's a document, a sketchbook, a voice recorder, or even just a scratch pad. Think of it as a brain dump, but with a purpose. It's the moment you give yourself full permission to be bad, to be wrong, to be incoherent. You're not allowed to edit, to judge, or to even think about how it sounds or looks to anyone else. It's just you, your idea, and the pure, unadulterated act of creation. Forget about grammar, spelling, color theory, musical scales, or perfect structure. This stage is all about raw output, letting whatever wants to come out, come out. You're simply moving the creative energy from inside your head to the outside world. It's the messy, unglamorous foundation of a building, not the beautifully decorated penthouse. And here's the best part. By embracing the ugly, you instantly reduce the paralyzing fear of starting something new. It's like telling your inner critic, hey, don't worry, this is supposed to be rough. You can come back and be picky later. Now you might be thinking, that sounds nice, but why does embracing ugly actually work? Well, there are a few powerful psychological reasons this method is a game changer. First off, it absolutely crushes perfectionism. Perfectionism is a silent killer of creativity. It whispers doubts in your ear, makes you second-guess every decision, and often stops you before you even begin. When you declare that your first draft must be ugly, you strip perfectionism of its power. You're giving yourself explicit permission to make mistakes, to be imperfect, and to just get the ideas flowing without the crushing weight of immediate quality. It lowers the stakes completely. Secondly, it drastically reduces the fear of failure. Many of us get stuck because we're afraid our work won't be good enough, or that we'll waste our time. But if the goal is simply to produce something, anything at all, then failure becomes impossible. You can't fail at making something ugly if that's the whole point. This mental shift is incredibly liberating. Thirdly, and this is huge, it generates momentum. The hardest part of any creative project is often just getting started. Staring at a blank page or an empty screen can be absolutely terrifying. The ugly first draft provides a starting point, however messy. Once you have something down, even if it's just a few scribbled words or a rough outline, you have something to react to, something to work with. It's easier to revise a bad draft than to create a perfect one from thin air. It's like pushing a heavy car. The first push is the hardest, but once it starts rolling, it gets easier. Finally, it actively stimulates idea generation. When you force yourself to produce without censoring, you often stumble upon ideas you wouldn't have consciously thought of. The act of creation itself sparks new connections in your brain. It's like turning on a faucet. Sometimes the first bit of water is murky, but if you keep it running, it clears up and flows beautifully. Let's talk about how this looks in the real world, because this isn't just for professional writers or artists, it's for everyone. Think about a writer who's trying to get a novel started. Instead of agonizing over the perfect opening sentence, they might just type Chapter 1. Character walks in. Something happens. They say a thing. It's not eloquent, it might not even make sense, but it breaks the spell of the blank page. I once worked with a writer who would just type vomit draft at the top of her screen before she started. Her goal was to get 1,000 words down, no matter how bad they were. She'd write sentences that were grammatically incorrect, switch character names halfway through, and even type notes to herself like, right in the middle of the story. The beauty of it? She ended up with a coherent first draft much faster than she ever did, trying to perfect each paragraph as she went. She knew she could always go back and polish the raw material. Or consider a painter facing a giant, intimidating white canvas. Instead of trying to sketch out a perfect composition, they might just grab a large brush and slather some general colors onto the canvas. Maybe they lay down a rough wash of blue for the sky, some green for ground, a blob of red where a figure might be. It's not a masterpiece, it's not even good, but it's something. It breaks the canvas's intimidation factor and gives them a base to react to. From that initial messy splash, they can start to see shapes, adjust colors, and build up the layers. So I remember seeing an art student literally throw paint at a canvas once, just to get over his block. His final piece was incredible, and he said that initial ugly act was what allowed him to start. Even musicians or singers can use this. You're trying to write a new song. Don't worry about perfect pitch, complex chords, or poetic lyrics right away. Just hum a melody into your phone, even if it sounds like a dying cat. Strum some random chords on your guitar, record them. Sing made-up words that don't mean anything over a simple beat. The goal is to get any musical idea down. I know a songwriter who keeps a notebook specifically for ugly lyrics. They're just random words, phrases, and rhymes he jots down, without any thought of them fitting into a song. But often when he's stuck, he'll flip through that notebook, and one of those ugly phrases will spark an entire verse. The key takeaway here is that an ugly first draft isn't the final product. It's the raw material. It's meant to be revisited, refined, shaped, and layered into something beautiful, but it can't be refined if it doesn't exist in the first place. So you're ready to try it. Awesome. Here's how you can implement the ugly first draft method in your own creative life. First, set a time limit. This is crucial. Don't tell yourself you'll work on your project until it's done or until it's good. Instead, say, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to write without stopping. Or, for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to sketch whatever comes to mind, no matter how bad it is. This creates a sense of urgency and limits the time your inner critic has to chime in. A short, focused burst is much more effective than endless agonizing. Second, and this is the golden rule, create without editing. Your fingers should keep moving, your brush should stay on the canvas, your voice should keep recording. If you catch yourself trying to fix a typo, rephrase a sentence, or perfectly blend a color, stop. Remind yourself, this is the ugly draft. The goal is flow, not perfection. Think of it like clearing out a cluttered garage. You just want to get everything out onto the driveway first, then you can sort it. You wouldn't stop halfway through pulling junk out of the garage to organize one specific box, would you? Just get it all out. Third, embrace the mess. Actively celebrate how bad it is. Give your ugly first draft a silly name. Laugh at the awkward phrases or the lopsided drawings. This positive reinforcement, even for something ugly, helps to retrain your brain to associate creation with freedom and fun, rather than pressure and judgment. I often tell myself, this is supposed to be junk right now, and I'm nailing it. Fourth, and this is where the magic happens, step away, then review and refine. Once your time limit is up, or you feel you've gotten everything out, step away from it. Take a break, go for a walk, do something completely different. When you come back with fresh eyes, you'll be amazed at how much easier it is to see the good parts, the parts that have potential, and the parts that need work. You'll be approaching it from the perspective of an editor or a sculptor, not a judge. You're no longer creating, you're improving. You'll start to see patterns, identify themes, and find the gems hidden within the ugly. This is where you bring in your critical eye, your skill and your perfectionism, but only after the initial creation is done. Finally, understand that this is a consistent practice. The more you use the ugly first draft method, the easier and more natural it becomes. It trains your brain to separate the act of creation from the act of judgment, allowing your creative juices to flow more freely, more often. So there you have it, the ugly first draft method. It's a simple, incredibly powerful tool that empowers you to beat creative block, overcome perfectionism, and unlock a consistent flow of ideas. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to make progress. It's about getting something down, then polishing it into the masterpiece you envisioned. You are a creative being, and you have amazing ideas waiting to be shared. Don't let the fear of imperfection hold you back another second. If this video helped you feel less stuck and more inspired, please hit that like button, share it with a friend who's battling their own creative block, and subscribe for more practical tips to fuel your creative journey. Now, go crush your next project.